contour, you're going to look like a masquerade. Hello guys, welcome back to another video. I am Judith. If you're new here, please don't make it your last by clicking the subscribe button. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for joining me today. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about foundation and how to identify your foundation shade. I've got a couple of questions on how to identify foundation shade. Like as a professional makeup artist, some people go as far as sending me their pictures. Hi Judith, please, what foundation will suit me? This is my picture. Please, can you tell me what shade of foundation that I can get in this brand? First of all, I don't know all that. I can't say all that when I haven't seen you or worked on your face. Yeah, so in this video I'm going to be sharing you and giving you recommendation of things to do on how to get the best foundation that will match you, and share tips for you, and I'm going to make this as detailed as possible, as much as I can. So first thing I would recommend you do when you're in store to get your foundation match is you kind of take a tester and swatch the foundation on a part of your skin. I see people trying to get a foundation shade and try to apply it here to know if it's going to suit them. No, that's very wrong. You don't apply your foundation there to check if it's going to suit you. I recommend you apply your foundation in between your neck and your face. This way it's going to give you what is going to suit you, because most times most people, their face look lighter than their body, and even when your face doesn't look lighter than your body, this area, this perimeter of your face usually look lighter. Whether you see it or not, it's usually lighter. So applying your foundation on that part, it's not the best way or the best place to choose or to check if the foundation is going to suit you. Another thing I'm going to recommend is, you know, when you go into a store, especially a makeup store, they have a lot of fancy light. I used to work in one. I used to work at England's Cosmetics Nigeria. So we have like a lot of fancy light in the store. So when you walk into the store and they apply the foundation on you, you take a mirror, you see that this foundation suits you really, really well. But when you go out, it might not be same as it looks in the store. And people see you more with natural light than that plenty light you're using. So I recommend when you apply that foundation on your skin, you go out for a while to make sure that foundation is your exact skin tone. I recommend you go and check it under natural light and wait for a while. Two reasons is to make sure it looks nice as it was looking from the lights you saw in the store, and another reason is to know what it looks like when it oxidizes, because some foundation tends to look darker when it oxidizes, and it kind of changes it to when it oxidizes. So you need to wait for a while. I recommend you wait for like 2 hours before going back to the store to pick the foundation, to be sure the foundation actually suits you. And if you don't have all the time, you need to get like a different shades of foundation, swatch them on your jawline or on your neck area. Like get 3 different shades and swatch them to check which one suits you more. So if you are in the makeup store or you are in an artist's place and she's trying to match your foundation, make sure she doesn't match your foundation from this area. In a situation when you have options to pick the foundation, maybe one is lighter and one is darker, I recommend you pick the one that is slightly darker, because highlight and contour can correct that. But imagine trying to start off light with a light foundation. When you highlight and contour, you're going to look like a masquerade, which is not nice at all. Another thing you need to know before choosing your foundation is your undertone. So what is undertone? Let me try to break this down as much as I can. Undertone is the color from underneath the surface of the skin, which has an overall effect on the hues of the skin. So the undertone are 3 major undertones, which is the warm undertone, the cool undertone, and the neutral undertone. So when you see people say I have pink or have red or have blue undertone, those people has a cool undertone. So if your vein is blue or purple, you are most likely to have a cool undertone, and people with cool undertone, silver suits them a lot. So warm undertone comes in yellow and peachy tone, so you can identify it with a green vein White and gold suits people with undertone a lot. So the neutral undertone comes in olive tone. So you can identify this with a green or a blue undertone on the wrist. Most color suits people with neutral undertone. So people with neutral undertone can easily get their foundation match. Yeah, they can easily get their foundation match because they are in between colors and most colors suits them a lot. So the key to knowing your foundation or picking the right foundation shade is your undertone. You don't want to miss that part because it's really, really important. You know your undertone, so you don't get a foundation that looks like your shade, but when you apply it kind of look off. Undertones doesn't come in a particular complexion. Skin tone are different from skin undertone, so it doesn't come in a particular skin tone. A dark person can have a warm, cool, or a neutral undertone, and a fair person can have a warm, cool, or a neutral undertone. For instance, when you see someone looking dark or someone that is same skin tone as you see like there is a more of yellow coming out or popping out from somewhere, or you see like a more of red popping out. Or when you see a very fair person, there are some fair people that are very light skinned that looks pinkish, some look yellowish, some look reddish. That's because their undertones are different. So the foundation that will suit the person that has the pink undertone or the yellow undertone or the red undertone won't be the same foundation that will suit the other person. So you have to know your undertone before picking a foundation. Most brands name their foundation, like for instance, you see N in the foundation. N probably stands for neutral, or you see W in foundation, usually stands for warm, or you see C in the foundation, usually stands for cool. This does not apply to every brand because some brands name their foundation or their product so many things. It might not be the same thing that the number or the letter stands for. So you need to know your undertone and go for what suits your undertone, because you can't be warm and trying to get a foundation or a product that has a cool undertone. It's not going to suit you. Even when it looks like your shade, it's totally going to look off. Also, if you find that one foundation that suits you very well, it doesn't matter if it's a luxury brand, high-end drugstore, or your local brand. Just stick with it because this is what works for you. Sometimes I come encounter with clients that be like, wow, what products do you use? And I tell them, okay, this is what I use. And they say, this is what they use. This is what they want me to use on them. And I'll tell them, okay, fine, no problem. When I get there, I usually come with options because I am an artist and I know that what you see from pictures might not be what is going to be on ground. In most cases, it's not what is going to be on ground. Yeah, and that is the truth. So I just come with options, and when I get there, I realize that this high ends they are talking about, like, oh, this is what I want to use or this is what I use, doesn't really match their skin. I end up using drugstores on them, and because of their skin type, or maybe their skin is oily or their skin is dry, and this is a particular product that works for them, I just end up using this particular product for them. Do you understand? So it's not a must that it's going to be high ends or a drugstore, but if a high-end brand suits you and you cannot afford a high-end, I will tell you, look for a drugstore or your local brand that suits your skin and it's going to work perfectly well for you. And also another thing I recommend while looking for your foundation shade is when you go into a store and you test the foundation on your skin, try to get your phone and take a picture with a flash to make sure there is no flashback. Yeah, so that way you are sure that, okay, this foundation really sits well on my skin and I'm not just seeing it from the picture, or I'm not just seeing it with this light. You're sure that, okay, this foundation suits your skin and suits your skin very, very well. The best way, like I said earlier, the best way to know if this foundation is actually your skin tone is to go on natural light and see for yourself and make sure there is a lot of light for you to see, a lot of natural light for you to see your foundation. And another tip I'm going to tell you on how to choose your foundation: know your skin type. Not just knowing your undertone, know your skin type. If your skin is dry, a luminous foundation work nice for you and better for you, unlike a matte foundation, because I won't recommend you get a matte foundation on a dry skin. Yeah, it all depends on your skin prep, but the matte foundation on a dry skin won't work well. It won't work well on your skin. A matte foundation will work better on an oily skin because it needs to create a balance. you need to have a balance. You don't go matte on matte or oil on oil. Nah, you need to create a balance. And when you have an oil skin, try to go for a foundation that is matte, not an oil skin foundation, because in as much as even when you want to create a dewy finish, it's better you still go with a matte foundation, because you are still going to, your skin is still going to get dewy. Yeah, it's still going to get dewy. So because you have an oily skin, you're still going to produce oil, definitely. No matter the oil block, this block, it doesn't really stay that long. It just helps control the oil for a while, and it's still going to come out. So when it comes out and it sticks into the foundation, or the foundation sticks into it, kind of create a balance. So you don't want to go oil skin foundation to an oil skin. And if you have a normal skin or a combination skin, I would advise you get a foundation that is in between. There are some foundations that are not too dry, there's some foundation that are not too matte, so I recommend you get a foundation that is just in between. So this way it's going to create a balance on your skin. And also I recommend you browse before buying a foundation. There are some websites that are dedicated in helping you find your undertone and helping you match your foundation properly, and some brands usually explain this thing better. I recommend you browse. When you are trying to buy a particular brand, you browse about it to know what the brand says about a particular foundation. So when it says cool undertone, or this foundation is cool, warm, or neutral, or olive, there's usually something down there that explains it better. So I recommend you browse and read about it. And if you are not in a store and you want to find your foundation, I recommend you go on YouTube, Instagram. If you're someone that usually online like me, I'm usually always on YouTube, on Instagram. Find influencers, creators who do makeup tutorials that are same shade or same undertone as you. So take note of what they use, and what they use is most likely to be what is going to suit you, so you can use them as reference when you're going to buy your foundation. And a bonus tip: the right key to having a nice foundation match and a flawless foundation application is your skin prep. Make sure your skin is well and rightly prepped. If you prep wrongly, your foundation is most likely not to sit on your skin the way it's supposed to sit, and that's where it might start looking like it's ashy or not your undertone. So guys, we have come to the end of this video. I hope this video was insightful and educative. Give this video a very big thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe to my channel if you're yet to subscribe to my channel. Turn on the post notification to my post so you'll be the first to be notified when I post new videos. Share this video with your friends and anyone who you think might find this helpful, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.